Hi, it's Kevin Bates here, and today's video is about identity online again. It's a topic that I frequently revisit because it's one that is increasingly annoying me. The trigger for this video is the fact that one of my sons had his Gmail account hacked into, and the hacker subsequently used access to Gmail to delete my son's Roblox and Minecraft accounts, or Mojang accounts. In fact, the Microsoft account. And in one sense, it's his own fault. He used his name as his password. It's making it very easy to guess. And this is despite the fact that a year ago I gave him a long lecture on the importance of password safety and security. But, you know, he's only in his mid-teens, so it's understandable that he might think, well, maybe my dad's exaggerating a bit what the risks here are, who is going to hack me? And the answer is, there are people out there who will hack into any account they can get their hands on, and then will do malicious, vandalistic stuff just for the fun of it. Now, fortunately for my son, it is just a year's worth of gaming that he has lost. It is not a vast fortune, but it's still very, very painful to a teenager to experience this. And I've used it as an opportunity to once again reiterate the importance of security when it comes to online presence. And he now understands two-factor authentication properly. We've set up an authenticator on his phone. He's picked a strong password and he's written it down on a bit of paper and put it in an envelope and then stored it in a book on his bookshelf for backup. So for a 14-year-old, I think that is probably sufficient. For a company, probably not so much. And here is the thing that really annoyed me about this incident. When my son came to me in tears telling me that his Minecraft account, or rather his Microsoft account tied to his Minecraft, his old Mojang account, appeared to have been deleted, I started investigating how it could be recovered, what we could do to fix this, and investigating how the breach happened. And it's really hard when your account has been compromised to find the right information and get in touch with the right people to fix things. The web is full of automated forms, that's mainly Google, or knowledge-based articles that are completely wrong, that's mainly Microsoft. So reading all the articles about what we could do, it was actually best to go to Reddit, of all places, to find out the process. And the answer that came through is that if it's not an account of commercial value, then Microsoft really isn't that interested. I found a whole bunch of responses on the Microsoft site in the help section where people were plaintively asking what they could do because their account had been deleted, and the answers that were typed in looked like they were produced by a bored 19-year-old not really bothering to read the question. The sense I got from all of this is that honestly, the companies do not care. You as an individual are insignificant to them. You're losing you as a customer, and maybe a bunch of your friends and relatives is irrelevant. It's not worth their time commercially to support you. You're just left to stew on your own. The only thing that might protect you is legislation and regulation, but the regulation has focused more on things like privacy than it has on a continued digital identity. And so this brings me back to the question of identity, which is, we have our identities here in the physical world, and that's all managed very nicely for us thanks to physics and biology. But on the online world, we have handed over our identities to these corporations, and these corporations have no real interest in us as individuals. We're just interesting to them as a mass, as a whole. And so if an individual in the herd gets slaughtered, there's no commercial imperative for them to care for us. And that is worrying, because increasingly our identity is tied to things in the virtual world as well. It's no longer just a game or a piece of science fiction like something by Vernor Vinge from the 80s. This has become a real part of our identity and our life. My son's Roblox account in particular is something that is very dear and very important to him, and something that he has put a lot of effort in to. So this is the equivalent of a writer coming home and finding that the draft of the novel that he or she has worked on for the last 5 years has gone up in flames. And you know, there is real emotion attached to this. And so when you look at it that way, the attitude of the companies is quite frankly rather disgusting. We need to take more control over our identities, over who we are, and it is blatantly obvious that centralized tech companies are not the way to go. And I, for one, am going to stop using federated logins, which is something that I've fallen into the habit of doing, and actually start making sure I have individual accounts for everything, even though I have about 400 or 500 accounts on various servers online, because you can't trust one company with your identity. Anyway, bit of a rant, but it is something that I'm starting to feel stronger and stronger about, and something that we really have to start doing something about. The question is how, and how quickly. Hope you found this video interesting, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.